Hello again, folks. Now, you could be forgiven for linking Angela Rayner's Tory scum speech and the fact that Tory scum hashtag was trending on Twitter to the murder of Conservative MP Sir David Amess yesterday. You could be forgiven for thinking some gullible left-wing person could have been galvanised by what these people have been saying on social media and in speeches, and then used it as justification to go and murder someone. It's happened before, folks. In fact, there's big money to be made out of hating the Tories, because if you go on eBay, you will find hats and t-shirts and all sorts of stuff which are being sold for profit on the back of hate, Tory hate. And the left go on about how the right wing are so hateful. Well, look in the mirror. And the Tories here in the UK have always been despised, not just hated. They have been despised. They have been demonised. And this can be easily explained, folks. Now, every time a socialist Labour government is elected out of office, then the only alternative that other people can vote for, the Conservative Party, they then become the government and they have to fix the economic mess that the previous socialist Labour government have left the economy in. They've always done that. Back in 2010, when David Cameron's Conservative Party won the election, and his Chancellor of the Exchequer was left a note on the table by the outgoing Socialist Labour Chancellor of the Exchequer saying, good luck, there's no money left. And that's what Labour do. That's what Socialists do. They spend all the money. So the Conservatives have to fix all this and get the money back, get the economy in shape, get the country working again. And of course, they always cut too deep, which makes the people resent them and they get voted out. And then the only real alternative is the Labour Party, which gets voted in again. So Labour make a mess, the Conservatives fix it, and it's a vicious circle. Now, the reason I said that Labour and Conservatives are the only real alternatives to each other is because no one can take the Liberal Democrats seriously. And that's all I'm going to say about them. They are a shitty comedy party. So anyway, back to the murder of Conservative MP Sir David Amess. All we know about his murderer is that the guy is of Somali origin, and the authorities are now officially labelling the attack as a terrorist incident, an Islamic terrorist attack to be exact. And David Amess was attacked while attending his constituency surgery in Essex. Now, ironically, David Amess was an advocate for refugees' welcome, and people are left wondering if this Somali guy was still wet from crossing the Channel, and if he was one of these illegal migrants who crossed the Channel on a daily basis. Now, I guarantee you one thing, folks. The identity of this guy, this alleged murderer, will not open up a debate in the UK about the threat posed by mass immigration, especially the alarming number of boats carrying illegal migrants arriving on England's south coast. And of course, the same lefties will be coming out on Twitter. In fact, they've done it already, folks. And they're pulling their usual trick of claiming that any focus on the guy's nationality or religion is Islamophobic. And these are the same people who blame the Tories, the Conservatives, or white people in general after every right-wing terror attack. And they will also shamefully tell us that diversity is a strength. And it's a sad fact that the vast majority of terror attacks here in the United Kingdom over the past 20 years have been carried out by Islamists. And the usual Twitter blue ticks have come out, and it looks like they are downplaying what happened. Look at Sadiq Khan here. Look at the top sentence of his tweet. I am so deeply, deeply saddened by the tragic news that Sir David has passed away. He didn't pass away, he was murdered. Sadiq Khan is an absolute twat. And then you've got Femi, another Twitter blue tick. You know who Femi is? The guy is trying to use everything in the news to make himself relevant because Brexit failed and Jeremy Corbyn never got elected. He's used everything. Now he's using this one, and he shamefully tweeted this. Before Boris Johnson does his tweet about the disgusting attack on Tory MP David Amess, saying how he's outraged about how violence has infected our politics, please remember that he was happy to use death threats as a tool to try and get Joe Cox's successor to support Brexit. Now, that tweet was posted literally minutes after the guy was declared dead. These people have no shame, folks. No shame whatsoever. And then there's this silly sausage on Twitter also saying, watching people blame Angela Rayner for the stabbing of Sir David Amess is, I must say, one of the most depressing things I've ever seen on Twitter. Now, like I said earlier in my video, you could be forgiven for thinking that Angela Rayner's Tory scum speech had inspired someone to do the dirty deed. And we don't know the whole story yet. But people like Imogen on Twitter need to be reminded that when Joe Cox was murdered, there was a shitload of accusations from the left that the Brexit Leave campaign's message was partly responsible. Yes, folks, they blamed Brexit for Joe Cox's murder. It's okay when they do it. And of course, there's this headline by The Guardian where an activist, not a journalist, folks, an activist called Zoe Williams said, Angela Rayner called Tory ministers scum and now they're weaponising it. And that's the thing with the left. They do not accept any responsibility for what they say. Words have actions. The left don't like being called out for what they're saying. And if anyone weaponised Tory scum, it was Angela Rayner herself. She needs to own that. And it's been 24 hours since David Amess's death. And there's been absolutely nothing about it. No condolences or anything on Welsh nationalist socialist Plaid Cymru plank Leanne Wood's Twitter page. I'm guessing her hatred runs too deep to offer sympathy. That's socialists for you, folks. And it's a sad story all round, really. A husband and a father is dead, but the left will continue to cultivate and foster hatred for what he and his party stood for. Anyway, that's my video on this issue. Am I right or am I wrong? Please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to support my channel, then by all means, you can buy me a beer. And that's it. So until my next video, please comment, share, subscribe, and Roger Trout.